Hi, in this video I invite you to learn about the concept and process of learning design. Let's start by analyzing how a service designer uses the concept of design thinking. Service design uses the design thinking methodology to solve problems beyond product and digital experiences and to build customized service paths. Service design is based on user-centered, empathy-driven, and creative planning and problem-solving. So why should we adopt the learning design approach? Design tools can be used to create learning processes of good quality. Just as in service design, attention is paid to the customer's experience before, during, and after the service event. In learning design, the focus is on the student's learning experience. That is why the concept of design has succeeded in changing our way of thinking. We need to be thinking about the whole time the student is learning, not just the moments when the student is with the teacher. In learning design, the digital solutions are integrated in the learning process. Learning design is implemented in a systematic and collaborative way. This means that there is a structured method being used, and it is important that there is a teacher team behind it. This caters for creativity as different ideas and perspectives meet. With learning design, it's also possible to document and model good pedagogical practices. We can say that learning design is in the intersection of service design, pedagogy, and technology. In the background of service design, we can observe the Anglo-American tradition of instructional design as well as the user interface design. Based on user experience design, learning design combines the principles of design thinking, the art of teaching, and the utilization of technical platform and tools. And this slide sums up the essential characteristics of learning design. It is a process for planning technology-enhanced learning activities within a community where designs and ideas can be reshared. To make a difference between course planning and learning design, one can say that course planning relates to the given factors such as objectives, timing, and student group size and level, whereas learning design is what you can make with these given factors. So learning design brings the element of creativity to teachers' work. In service design, it is common to visualize the steps of service process from the customer point of view. We call them customer journey maps. They model the interactive encounters and different service points between the customer and the service provider. Likewise, in the learning design process, we visualize the student's learning path and the various contact points where and when the student interacts with the teacher, the university, or with his or her peer. Examples of such contact points are, for example, registration for a course, student presentation, lectures, supervision meetings, group assignments, receiving feedback, and assessment. In practice, the learning design process is complex and sensitive. Research shows that decisions about the course planning are influenced by a number of factors, such as the teacher's own beliefs about learning, their previous experiences of teaching, perceptions of students' needs, and previous feedback from the students. In addition to these, the pedagogical models and processes of the organization have underlying influence. In the following, I will summarize a typical learning design process using 4 different steps which relate to conceptualization, design of the manuscript, course building, reflection and further development. Let's start with the first step. So the design process starts with the conceptualization and development of the learning path. Knowing the target group and the end user is the cornerstone of a service design, and the process of service design always starts with gathering customer understanding. In the design of learning, this means that we know the starting points and the ways of our students to study. The conceptualization phase should guide the teacher to look at the characteristics of the student group as well as the needs of working life. The structuring of the learning process always starts with the examination of the goals set for the study. They can be viewed as evidence of a change in students' knowledge and ways of thinking or acting. The next stage is about designing of the manuscript and planning the guidance and assessment. Through the manuscript, it is possible to stage the learning process into smaller parts along the learning path. The teacher team can define points of contact along the student's learning path. These are points where the student interacts with the teacher, institution, or peers. Various visual tools are an important aid in structuring the learning process. These include, for example, storyboards, spreadsheets, or timelines that show the progress of the course over time. At this stage, the teaching team also agrees on the principles and methods of assessment, as well as the schedule for building the study and the responsibilities within the team. Once the content of the study, the plot, and the ways of learning have been thought through, it is time to build the course concretely. This phase includes the construction of the learning tasks and the learning environment, the scheduling of guidance, and a detailed plan for assessment. The last step is reflection and further development. A continuous development of teaching is typical for teachers' work. It is reflected in the design of courses in such a way that new versions of courses once built are worked on. The reform work includes pedagogical and content development, as well as the utilization of new tools enabled by technology. Often, further development work begins already during the delivery of the course. The iterative development of a course can be thought of as an endlessly continuous process driven by student feedback, out-of-the-box thinking, and new digital tools. So this is a simplification of learning design process, which I have structured on basis of literature. Thank you for watching this video.